and by extension the armed forces in its various operations across the length and breadth of the country. It is indeed a fact that we have been credited to have held the government accountable through the various mechanisms introduced to ensure strict compliance to the rules of engagement in warfare and ensure Nigerians' rights and privileges are not trampled upon under whatever guise. It is on this strength we convoked this press conference to give a detailed appraisal of our fact-finding missions on the operations of the Nigerian Armed Forces in the preservation of human rights in its various operations. We wish to state in unequivocal terms that there has been a considerable improvement in the conduct of the Nigerian Armed Forces regarding human rights and compliance to international conventions, especially in the last 5 years. The Coalition on Human Rights Monitoring Group wishes to put it on record that the Nigerian Army's operational strategies in the prosecution of the war against terrorism and other facts of criminalities have been outstanding with an excellent rating of human rights compliance. From all our ratings and feedback mechanisms, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Buku Buratai, leads the pack of military commanders who have displayed an unalloyed commitment to upholding human rights tenets and adherence to global best practices in the rules of engagement in the warfare. This is on the heels that Operation Lafia Dole's organizational composition has in place measures to curb excesses by officers and soldiers in the discharge of their duties. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group also reiterates that President Muhammadu Buhari, in his capacity as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has been exceptional in ensuring that the Armed Forces operations comply with international conventions. We are using this medium to commend President Muhammadu Buhari and the Armed Forces leadership for the exceptional conduct regarding the adhering to global standards in human rights preservation. The establishment of human rights desk in all Nigerian Army units and formations to address human rights violations is no longer exemplary display of ingenuity by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Buratai, who by all standards qualifies to be conferred with the highest human rights compliance award. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group indeed applauds other service chiefs, such as the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Oloni-Shakin, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Air Marshal Muhammad Salim Usman, the Director General of the DSS, Yusuf Bichi, and the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibas, for their invaluable contributions in the entrenchment of human rights in Nigeria. We wish to use this medium to commend officers and soldiers in the theatre of operations for exhibiting high standards of compliance with regard to the protection of human rights. Their display of professionalism, even in the face of provocation, is noteworthy and indeed commendable. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group position is that the security agencies engaged in the war against terrorism in Nigeria have exhibited high regard for human rights, which is in line with global best practices. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group is sending a strong message to all those that are at the forefront of peddling false information with regard to the human rights compliance of the Nigerian Armed Forces to desist from such ignoble ventures, which by all intent and purposes serves only a means of distraction and not a reflection of the reality on the ground. The fact remains that in the past 5 years, the level of human rights compliance with the Nigerian Armed Forces in the prosecution of the war against insurgency and other militant acts in Nigeria has been commendable. Credit must be given to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishaki, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and other heads of security agencies that have been involved directly or indirectly in the prosecution of the war against insurgency in Nigeria. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group is, by this medium, conferring on the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, and other top commanders of the Nigerian Army and the troops, the Human Rights Compliance Award for service to country and humanity. We also want to use this medium to encourage the Nigerian Armed Forces leadership not to rest on their oars and continue to preserve the tenets of human rights in their operation. Thank you all for your time, and God bless you.